Good. Let me recap myself. I'm saying I send this thing that I'm showing you on your screen to you. Okay. All these 6 items, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 files. I send it to you. Now, download it and put it in create a folder. I recommend you create a folder called My Folder. No space. See what I selected there in your drive C. Open it. When you download to your Telegram, you go to the source of your Telegram and copy. They are all zip files. All these files are zip so that I can pass it across to you. When you copy to your system, you will install it to get the content there and put that in your folder. By the time you uninstall, you can delete your zip file so that you don't keep junks on your system. But the only thing is that you can keep it in case if it's corrupt, you can uninstall it back and make use of it. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. And I'm saying when you downloaded them, the first thing you do is you install Power BI Desktop. That's the tool that we want to use in this course. Then I put a caveat here. Some of us have SQL Server installed on our system earlier. Just ignore 2, 3, and 4 because you have it already. But in case you didn't have it, install SQL Express. It's a smaller version of Microsoft SQL and it's free. You are not paying anything for that. That's why we are using it, because this is a class. It's not a corporate, it's not for business, it's for you to learn. Then for you to see for you to have access to the database installed on SQL Express, on your Microsoft SQL Server that you paid for, you need SQL Server Management Studio. Otherwise, you will not see your database. Then, when you install your SQL Server database that have access to your form, is your database management application. Try and understand. SQL is your database. The application that manages the database is your SQL Server Management Studio. Okay? For you to have access to your database, you have to launch it. That is, you start it. When you start it, you will see the interface, which I will show you anytime. Then you now restore your database. This database is backup. You restore it. It has all the data that you need. Let me just launch my system. I'm launching Management Studio on my system. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes.
Okay, good. So that's your SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, connect it. That I will let you know. So this database, this adventure, forget about what you see on my system. I've done so many things on it, but this is the one that concerns you. Adventure was DW 2020 will not be, there will be no database in your own. Okay? When you are through at a point, I will have to guide you how to restore your database by coming to this place, restore your database. I just want to show you. The purpose of this place quickly is just to demonstrate source of your data, where data comes from. And another source we are going to make use of is CSV, and we'll explain that when we get to your class. So I'm just trying to show you this, that we bring your data from 2 sources. And again, I was explaining to you that the data you want to work with is about an organization called Adventure Works. And I said Adventure Works is a retail organization that sells clothing, sells accessory, sells bike and components. That's the 3 major category of items of what they sell, what they are selling. So now, and we are looking at their data for about 4 years. We are looking at 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2022. So we are looking for about 4 years span data of adventure works to demonstrate how you are analyzing your data. That's that about the project given to you that you are going to work with. Unfortunately, in this class, you only see periphery of it because, like I said, you only have 3 classes. So you can't see it in detail. Is that clear? Is that clear, team?
Yes.
Sorry, Ebenezer. I'm not clear. Are we to do this installation by ourselves?
Yes. When you now have an issue, you call my attention to it.
Hello.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Oh, Emily, how are you?
I think that's going to be a tall order.
It's going to be
tall order.
Tall order. Don't worry, Larry. I told you I am your friend. Don't worry.
Yes.
Don't worry.
And
I saw a name. Come again. Good evening, Emilia. How are you?
I'm fine, Mr. Ebenezer. Good evening.
Sorry, Emilia.
Yeah, hold on.
You said you are our friend, and if you are our friend, I'm expecting that we will do it together so that everything will go on smoothly. Instead of
Larry, I can promise I'm your friend. I am your friend. Don't worry. I won't throw you under the truck. No, I won't throw you under the truck. No. You are not in this class to be humiliated in any form. No, you are here to learn, and you will learn it.
Yes.
I just need your cooperation. Okay?
Okay.
Good. What I'm going to do is, because of my time factor, I will teach my class normal. Today is more or less theory. During the week, between now and weekend, we will complete the installation one way or the other. Maybe we can arrange some off-hour classes for about 1 or 2 hours. We do the installation together, and off you go.
We appreciate that.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Good. So that's that about the project part of the course. Okay. Any question for me? Is only Larry that spoke? Is there another person that wants to say something?
Mr. Ebenezer.
Emilia, talk to me.
Yeah. Good evening. Yeah, I was thinking today is for installation. I wanted to say I am in another class. Is it because I have installed already? Do I need to do the installation again?
No, you won't need. So why do you join the class again, self?
Because I still want to learn.
Okay. But it's still going to be the introduction you learn, not the full course.
No problem.
You are welcome, Emilia. Nice meeting you again.
Nice to meet you, sir. Thank you.
Good. So let's speed off. Getting started with data analytics. Okay. What is data analytics about? What is the noise about data analytics? What's it all about? Why are you analyzing data? For what reason or what basis? Why are you disturbing your head? Data analytics is telling story about your data, telling people, looking in your data and tell story about it. Your management can wake up one day and say, okay, guy, I want to know what's the performance of our sales for 10 years. How have we been faring for 15 years? Oh, in 2023, we have high volume of bike sales. In 2022 or in 2020, we had low sales of bike and high sales of clothing. Why? You may analyze your data and say, oh, why these adventure works we are talking about covers about I think 8 region. It covers US, 5 regions in US, covers Canada, covers UK, covers Australia, and I think now you have a sale. You are looking at your sales in America. You are looking at your sales in Canada. You are looking at your sales in Australia. You are looking at your sales rep, the turnover of your sales rep. You are wondering, why do they have high volume of sale at a point and low volume of sale at any point in time? So looking at your data, that you want to tell story about your data, that is basically what data analytics is all about. And for data analytics, there are three major courses that embedded in data analytics. Your Excel, SQL. Your Excel and SQL is to teach you how to gather the information that you want to analyze. There are varieties, there are many ways of gathering information. Excel and SQL is just one of them. So then Power BI is to tell the story of your data in pictorial form. In pictorial form, okay? And your Tableau does the same thing as Power BI. But I will not tell you Power BI is better than Tableau or Tableau is better than Power BI. It depends on which one that interests you more. They do the same thing. They do the same thing. It's only that Microsoft concentrates more on its Power BI, make it user-friendly, and you get value from it. That's all about it. And again, in this part of the world, we are more convenient with Microsoft products. We are introduced to Microsoft products. We'll do more on Microsoft products than other products out there. That's why we have flair or tilted towards Power BI. Nothing. Okay? So you will learn the following concept, data analysis, and we'll also learn about getting started with Power BI in this class. Okay? So one after the other, data analytics and Microsoft is the first thing we want to look at. Good. Introduction. Data and information is the most strategic business asset. Do you agree with me? One of us says, call me, let me remember my business analyst. That should be business analyst. That should be project business. Oh, that's Catherine. Catherine.
Yes.
Hello, Catherine. Are you still there?
Yes, I am. Hello. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Catherine, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good. Sorry for the glitch there. I was saying
No problem.
that data and information is the most strategic business asset. Do you agree to that?
I agree.
Hello, Catherine. Do you agree to that?
Yes, I agree. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hello, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm saying that I agree. Hello. Hello.
I think he's got a dodgy connection or spotty.
Hello.
Good. You're welcome. So, yeah. data analytics to us. And I said, data and information is most strategic business assets. At this point, what is data? What is an information? Data is it's also an information coming to you, but unprocessed. Data is an unprocessed information that you gathered. It becomes an information because you have is giving you an insight. I was trying to ask Catherine that said they have when you analyze your business, when you look at it in the core, what are you talking about? You are talking about data. In the real sense of it, data is like blood that runs your business. Data is like blood that runs your business. Over the years, database administrator has just been gathering data, keeping them in one location. And it's like information in a silo. Nobody touches it, there are many organizations that, more especially in the third world, they have terabytes of data, petabytes, big data that they are just moving out in and out every year. In third world, if you know the volume of data they have in cloud, ask them, what is this data about? They don't have anything to say about it. But with advent of when data analytics came on board, a whole lot of things turns around. Many businesses are doing fantastic because there is data to speak to their business. There is data to tell them. There is data to tell them, reduce the volume of production here. There is data to tell them, you can project in the winter. This is the cloth that you are going to sell. In summer, this is the cloth you are going to sell. So time is the children dress. So time is an adult dress. So time is hoodie. So time is lighter dress and cool like that. Analysis of the business give you a pictorial way of seeing the information that you've been gathering over years. Am I communicating?
Yes, please.
Good. So now, the question is this. The people around your data, you have your data scientists, you have your data engineers, you have your business analyst, you have your data analyst. All of them, they were doing one thing or the other about your data. But the core person, there are two people that are important in this line to you, business analysts. Except in the third world, most of the developed countries, Europe, America, Oceanic world, even Asia, they've gone far. They don't mix role. You cannot be a business analyst and also be a data analyst. You may have the idea, but you cannot run the two functions together. Business analyst is go in between the business and the management and your data analyst. Business analysts understand the details of the business, the dynamism of the business, the data that run the business. Business analysts understood it. So he is the one that interprets the data to data analysts that this is what this information is all about, this is what this data is all about, right? So, but your data analysts concentrate on cleaning the data, analyzing the data, and present it in a presentable way. So as a data analyst, you are on a journey. And let me sound a note of warning here. You do not have a say most of the time in the organization you are working with because you are a custodian of the tools that present their data in pictorial form. The concept, what they want to get from their data is always a request from the management. Am I communicating?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes,
Good.
you know.
So think about all the data that is being generated. Now imagine an organized, let's picture this. I'm sure all of us will know back, all of us in this gathering are based in UK, right? Hello? Hello, are you there?
Yes, we're here.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're here.
Yes.
So I was trying to lay the foundation that think about all the, I was trying to give a sample of all of us on this platform. We know Barclays banks in UK, right?
Yeah.
Is there anybody in this land that is not aware of Barclays banks in United Kingdom? None.
No.
Good. You can picture the activities, financial activity that is going on in Barclays banks. You can, if you just look at the transaction of your cards, your card transaction in all the malls, they are likely domiciled in Barclays banks. You can imagine the number of citizens of United Kingdom that have Barclays bank card, that goes, they have the credit card and debit card that go to malls and buy things with their cards. You can imagine the transaction that is going on per hour, per day, and Barclays Bank is keeping tracks of those ones. That's about card transaction. What about the people that are depositing? What about people that are doing treasury business? What about people that deposited goods? What about people that deposited treasures in Barclays banks? Imagine the years Barclays Bank has been running, and imagine the kind of data Barclays Bank will have generated. Kindly picture it in your mind. Think about all the data that has been generated over years in Barclays Bank that are demonstrated each day and that is available in organization. From transactional data to traditional database, the one you are just, the one you are gathering yourself apart from transaction, telemetry, the one that is coming online, and you will agree with me today that quite a number of data are now coming from our mobile phones, WhatsApp group, Telegrams, Instagrams, pictorial pictures that you are gathered from time to time. Businesses today, you have your receipt of your transaction. Banks is keeping it. Receipt of your debit, receipt of your credit, receipt of your of transfer. All those transactions are being kept in the bank. Okay? To signals that is coming from any place, from different areas like social media. Business of today collect and store massive amount of data, massive. Some of us, we might have heard of big data, processing of big data. That's what they are calling big data, is simply talking about the massive data that we are generating in the world of today. If you go to sports, in England alone, Premiership is there. If you go to Spain, you have your La Liga there. If you go to France, you have their leagues there. You can think of the number of leagues across the globe and the number of matches that's going on, the analysis of the match, talking about, if you pick a Premiership match, you look at the number of fouls you have, you look at number of yellow cards, you look at number of scores, you look at number of passes that go on. If you want to analyze those information about that sport, it's a huge volume of data. Don't forget, there are all the videos of those matches. There are organizations that kept them. That if you want to see the Premiership, the Premiership of 1990. You will get it on the archive, the videos. You will see the games. So therefore, massive information is being kept and rolled around the world today. Yet, businesses continue to struggle to use their data in a meaningful and productive way. That's the most painful thing. Businesses are struggling to use to interpret, to do their business in a constructive and meaningful way. Thank God for data analytics that has been in trend, which imparts the ability to act. When you do not interpret your data, you won't know when to act, you know when to work, you know when to do anything. So business should be able to use their vast amount of data and information in such a way that imparts business. That's the concept of data analytics. That's the concept of analyzing your data. Business decision makers depend on an accurate story. Remember, Deji was telling us about what his boss normally tell him before, that data does not tell a lie. True, if it's well analyzed, well presented. And in those days that you was talking about, it's more or less a raw data, raw problem. Tools like Power BI is not invoked there. Today, you have a huge lot of data to analyze. The faster business can make precise decisions, the more competitive. Underline that. The faster they can make decisions, the more competitive they are. Because when they are looking at their data, they will know where they are. Some organizations gathered information about their competitors. They know the region where their competitors are doing well. They study their data, they find out why are they doing well, why are they accepting their product there. And you can use those information to twist your own information to present your organization in a better way against your competitor. So these are the value things that you get from your data. The key to unlocking all this data is being able to tell as a story with it via compelling and insightful reports. Who understand what I'm passing across here? The key to unlocking all this data is being able to tell as a story with via compelling, insightful reports. Do you understand that clause?
Yes.
Who can tell me what do you understand by that clause? Can you tell me something about it?
Yeah, for me, what I can understand is that the power of data analytics is in your ability to transform the data into a story which your stakeholders can understand and help move their business forward.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See, your board of directors, they care less about all the values you are putting on your Excel. It's not their business. Okay? So the whole idea is, look at the screen I'm showing you. Look at the right side of the screen. Can you see the pictures you have there? You have on this rectangle part on the right-hand side, this picture you are looking at here, what you have on this side is where you have 50K, that's your card, okay? And what is this information giving you? It's telling you that the total category volume is telling you about the volume of your sales for a period. The next thing is talking about limit market share. It's telling you your limit of market share is 33%. You know, imagine this is your business and you are looking at this information. It's going to make meaning to you. The next thing is talking about total category volume of your sales. Then it's also talking about sentiments arising from your data. Look at the column chart there. It's talking about total unit of your sales. At a glance, you can compare. Although this graph is too cumbersome, it's just to show you these are the things you want to do. Look at your line chart. When you are looking at your profit margin against your targets, this one can show you that. These are when you are looking at, when you are comparing timelines, the lower part here, without seeing values from the pictures, from the graph, you can understand and tell more about your data. Am I communicating, please?
Yeah.
Is everybody with me on this explanation? Are you getting what I'm saying? Hello, are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, we are.
Good.
Yeah.
Your journey of telling a story with data also ties into building that data culture within your organization. Okay? Before you can have a story to tell, there must be a data properly gathered and kept for you to analyze. Why telling the story is important. Get another message here. Why telling the story of your data is important, where that story is told is also crucial. Do you get that message?
Yes.
Do you get that message?
Yes.
Telling a story about your data is important. But to whom? Where are you telling the story? Whom are you telling the story? Imagine you are analyzing your data to senior security of a Barclays banks. You are show a security personnel in Barclays banks the statement of account of Barclays Bank for year 2024. What will he do with it? What will he do with that information? Picture in your mind. What will he do? You are presenting the statement of the profit after tax of Barclays Bank to a security personnel. What will he do with the data? Can anybody help me?
Nothing.
Make it, eh? Does it make any sense to him?
Nothing.
No sense.
Hello?
No sense.
No sense. So that's what it means. Why telling the story is important, where the story is told is also crucial. And the next part, making sure the story is told to the right people. Right people that will know the value, that will know the importance. It's important. And that telling this, gathering this, telling the story, telling it to the right people, to the crucial people, and to the people that needs it is your role as a data analyst. Any question for me? Can I move on? Can I move on?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes, please.
Please make it interactive, please. The next thing we want to look at, overview of data analysis. After this class, most of the thing I will do is I'm going to demonstrate you with practical. There are theory behind them, but the time will not permit me. But because I needed to lay foundation for you, I need to speak a bit of theory tonight. And during the week, we are going to set up your lab. So when we come to the next class, we are coming to do practical. Overview of data analysis. Data analysis is telling a story with data. Let that be ringing in your head. That is the core business of data analyst, telling story with your data. And there are 5 categories of the story you want to tell. 5 categories of story you want to tell. Okay? But before I go to those 5 categories, before data can be used to tell a story, it must first be run through a process that make it usable. Your data, you must run it through a process that... Come again?
You can go to the other room.
Are you talking to me?
No, she was not muted. I just muted her.
Oh, okay, thank you. So it must first be run through a process that makes it usable in stories. Thus, data analysis is the process of get the process right. Any data that you want to use, a usable data that you want to interpret that be meaningful, must pass through a process and underline this process and take note of it. The process of identifying the data. That's the job of data engineering. Data engineers. Their role is to identify the data and bring it out. Identify the data. Next to it is cleaning. That's how your job began as a data analyst. Cleaning of your data. And what do you mean by cleaning of your data? If data is not properly captured, probably you capture number instead of letter. You capture the letter instead of number. Or you capture data that is not expressed in proper decimal places. You capture data that is not well structured. You model your columns and rows together. Okay? When they give you a data like that, the first thing is to make sure the data is properly shaped, properly presented, letter for letter, number for number, decimal places. Where you're supposed to have 2 decimal places, you have 2. Where you're supposed to have 1, you have 1. Where you don't need the decimal places, you take it out. Some information that you don't need, that will not affect your analysis, you drop them. Okay? It's not a bandwagon effect. Any information you don't need, you drop them. So those are the things you are doing when you are saying you are cleaning your data. Okay? Transforming your data. Transforming your data is make it well labeled, make it well aligned, make it well structured, and modeling of your data. When you are transforming your data, you are breaking it into manageable tables. And this table must relate together for you to have analysis. And that is where modeling comes from. I won't bother you this class with details because your background, I don't even think I have anybody close to data analytics, data or computer science in this class. But that does not mean you can't understand what I'm saying. But most of the technicalities that bother us about IT, I will just explain it in a clear language for you to understand and move on. Good. The data is then crafted into a story via reports for analysis to support the critical decision making. Okay? After you identify your data, cleaning your data, transforming the data, modeling the data to discover meaningful and useful information, you then craft it to story. You use it to tell a story that is meaningful, and your organization member will take decision with it. While the process of data analysis focuses on the task of cleaning, modeling, and visualizing data, the concept of data analysis and how it's important to business should not be understated. To analyze data, core components of analysis are divided into the following categories. Now, I am separating the process of cleaning your data to when you are now analyzing your data, what do you want to achieve? Okay? What do you want to achieve with your data that you analyze? So as the world becomes more data-driven, storytelling through data analysis becoming a more vital component, an aspect of business large and small, and is the reason the organization continue to hire data analysts, because their job, formally, they just allow the database administrator to keep it and off it goes. But now data analysts say no, there are more to this data than throw it away. Data-driven businesses make decisions based on the story their data tells. Please underline some of the things I'm telling you here. Any business that is driven by data, is being pictured, presented the way you tell their data. Data is not being used to full potential, to its potential, a challenge that business faces today because they don't use data to their maximum potential. Data analysis is and should be a critical aspect of all organizations to determine the impact of their business. Every organization must have a data analyst, otherwise they will run at loss, including customer sentiment, market and product research, identify trends, or any other data insights. These are what you want to achieve with your data analysis. And there are 5 categories of analysis. The first one is descriptive. What, in a layman terms, what do you understand by descriptive analysis? Can anybody speak to it?
Describing the data.
Describing the data. Is that Wayne?
Yes.
Good. Describing the data. That's good. But I want more. Who can speak to descriptive data analysis? I want more. I'm waiting.
Telling the business what type of data you have.
Telling the business what type of data you have? Is that what you are telling business? No. No. You don't tell business about the data you have. You only tell information to the business. Any other idea? Where are the ladies in the house? What a man can do, a lady can do better. Talk to me. I'm waiting. Who is talking to me?
I'll say maybe analyzing something that has happened, like describing historical data.
We are putting it together in peace. Who is speaking to me?
Love it.
Love it. You have idea now, eh? Or you tell me confidently, love it.
That's just what is coming to my head, like, you know, from the word descriptive, like you are describing something that has happened, like something, a history of something.
Thank you. You actually speak to descriptive. Descriptive is telling story about data that you gather over time, history of your data, and what are the story you are telling. What is the volume of our sales in Manchester last season? What's the volume of our sale in Liverpool? What's the volume of our sales in North London? What's the volume of our sale in England? You are looking at volume, quantity of items sold out. You can come around and say, okay, what's actual amount that we made? Or what's our profits? What's our profit from Liverpool? What's our loss in England? What's our interest in Dublin? What's our full interest from Dublin? So descriptive, you are looking at your data over years and you are giving a descriptive of what has happened to the data. Descriptive analytics help answer the questions about what has happened based on historical data. Descriptive analytics technique summarizes large data to describe outcomes to stakeholder. Do you get that message? Do you understand that message?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. So that is what you are doing. You are telling your management, you are summarizing the data and giving them information. The next one we want to look at is diagnostic. Who can tell me something about diagnostic?
Why something?
When? That's good contribution. Good contribution. Why something happened? Why? Why it happens? Why it happens? Is an opposite of descriptive. Descriptive is saying what has happened. What has happened? Then diagnostic is saying why has it happened? Why? Why did it happen? Why did the building collapse? Why did they have accidents? What happened? What have they done? In IT world, they call it root cause analysis. Root cause. Okay? Good. Good. Next one is predictive. Who can tell me something about predictive?
How
What
do
will
we,
happen?
how do we mitigate it from what has happened? What will it cost us?
What has happened?
How will it
How
cost?
do it?
How will it cost
Come
us?
again?
What has happened? What will it cost us?
What will it cost us? Okay. What will it cost us? Predictive. Predict the impact of what has happened. You want to predict it ahead. Okay. Okay. Now, next one is prescriptive. A bit before we move, predictive analytic techniques use historical data to identify trends. What is in vogue, what the young generation are using, and determine if they are likely to reoccur. Okay, that's predictive. What of predictive is analytical, prescriptive by using insights from predictive analytics. Data, let me pause. What do you understand by prescriptive? What can you say about prescriptive?
What you should do with the data.
What we should do. What we should do. What we should do. Great. What of cognitive? Can somebody tell us the meaning of cognitive in the center of business and what's it about? I'm waiting. Cognitive. What do you understand by cognitive? Okay, let me take it because of our time. Cognitive analysis helps you to learn what might have happened if circumstances change and how you might handle this. Do you understand what I'm passing across?
Oh, please,
Yeah.
Please
come again. Come again with that one.
Hello?
Please come again with that one.
Analytics helps you what might have happened if circumstances change. It just like and you didn't drive, okay? The implication of that is when it rains on your way, protect yourself. But what if, okay, when you thought it's going to rain before, the next question is, what if it didn't rain? Where will you keep the umbrella? So because it's going to become a load for you. Do you understand the analogy I'm giving? You are looking at somebody should present a case, but it's not. And because he didn't present, what will have been the answer to that? So that is that. That's the 5 categories of analysis that you might have to do. Okay. question? Shall I move on?
Yes.
Any question? Good. Let's move to the next slide. Now, having spoke about gathering data and analyzing data, these are roles that you'll be used to in data science. You have your business analyst on top. I told you the going between you, the management and the sales. Data analyst, that's a role. Okay. Data engineer is the one data scientist into the data, and database administrator is a custodian of data. Okay, so as mentioned before, you are not alone. This is a journey, and it doesn't start with you. The data must come from somewhere, and getting that data into spot that is usable by you takes some effort. So these data are coming from somewhere. You want to say something, Wayne?
Yeah, sorry, you broke off. You broke off when you were explaining data engineer and data scientist. So I didn't get the difference.
Okay. Sorry. Let me take it again. Business analyst, his job is to understand the business and all the information that comes from the business. That's the role of business analyst. Every information you are gathering, business analyst is supposed to know it. Okay? Leaving that, now come to data analyst. Data analyst is the custodian of visualizing your data, telling stories with your data. That is his role. That is his job. Next to it is your data engineer. Data engineer is, look, many a times data goes beyond database administrator, and organization will have data. In fact, this Gen Z world, things are totally different because we have huge number of data online that is part of the active data. So data engineer will go to any length to go and get data that they want to analyze. Data scientist is to define the rules and regulations that guides the data. That's all it does. That's the job of a data analyst, to center around drill down the information about the data. That's data scientist. And finally, you have your database administrator. Okay? So the role of database administrator is to be a custodian of the data. And it works in conjunction with data engineer when they arises. They needed to get them, they needed to do more. Okay. Any question?
Yes, please.
Okay, please go on.
Please, on these roles on the slide, what does the like in data analysis, PL 300, data engineering, DP 203, data scientist?
Oh, the number in front of them.
Yes. Well, please, what do they mean?
That is the certification code. If you want to, after your Power BI, if you choose to write a data analyst, is PL 300 certification. Data engineer is DP 203.
Okay.
Data scientist is DP 100. And database administrator is DP 300.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
It is the certification code. Thanks for asking that question. Any other question? Okay, let's move on. Tasks of a data analyst. You can see now that I'm narrowing down. Here, you have varieties of people there. So next, stabilizing the set of people we have there. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So now, we've spoken about the rules. Now the next thing is we want to talk about the task. What you now, I'm telling to you now, your role, what you are going to do, your job functionality. Prepare data, model data, visualize the data, analyze the data, and manage it. Those are the activities that you go through. So tasks of data analyst, tasks of a data analyst. Now that you've looked at the who and the what, it's time to look at how. You'll be looking at who and when, but they are saying it's time for us to say how. You already know that a data analyst is one of the several critical roles in an organization. You agree with me? Okay. You are one of the people that goes for physical things. Okay. So helping uncover and make sense of information to keep the company balanced and operating system efficiently. So as such, it is vital that you, as a data analyst, already data analyst clearly understands your responsibility. So your role as a data analyst, one, prepare data. That's the first role, that's the first assignment. You prepare data, then you create a model with the data, you visualize it using your Power BI, you analyze it, and then you have a key to it. So what am I saying in essence is that your role as a data analyst is all about these 5 items. Okay? Any question? Okay. Any question so far? Yeah. So prepare your data, model the data, and manage the data. So that's your role as a data analyst. Any question?
No.
Okay, let's move on. So that brings me to the end of the first part of this. So let's quickly look at some few reviews questions. Which data role enables advanced analytic capability through reports and visualization? Which of the role enables advanced analytics capability through report and visualization?
Data analyst.
Who's helping us?
Data
analyst.
Yes, please.
Data analyst. Thank you. Good. Okay. Next question. Which data analyst task has critical performance impact on reporting and data analysis? Which data analyst task? Which of the tasks is more critical? Okay. Who is helping us? Which data analyst task has critical performance, then impact on reporting and data analysis? Who is helping us?
Oh, mine now. Visualize.
Visualize. No.
My turn to return a gift for you. Bring it up, please. Thanks, great.
Have you I'm waiting. Who's talking to us? Which data analyst task has critical performance impact on reporting and data analysis? Who's answering us?
Is it the cleaning or the transforming the data?
I'm asking now. What's your thought?
I think it's when you gather the raw data, you need to clean it up.
Mm.
Because if you don't clean it up, then that means you're not working with the right data in the right form. My thoughts.
Okay. Okay. That's a good idea. Any other opinion?
Visualization.
Come again. Visualization, no? Okay, let me help.
Analysis.
Okay. Go on.
Analysis has to do with cleaning and like cleaning up. Is it preparing data?
Yeah, preparation.
Or analysis.
Okay. Go on. Okay, in absence of none, or do we still have any contribution? Okay, so what next is your model. Which data analyst task has critical performance impact on reporting and data analysis? So model will do it. Okay, model will do it. What is the key benefit of a data analysis? What are the key benefits? We are waiting. Time is going. Tell us, what is the key benefit of a data analysis?
For making informed and strategic decisions for stakeholders.
Okay, great. That is the key benefit of your data, to take an informed business decisions. Please take note of that. Take note of that. So now we are moving to getting started with data. We will quickly run through this before we call it a day tonight. A collection of software services, apps, and connectors is what you are calling Power BI. Okay, that's what you are calling Power BI. And from the screen, what you can see on the screen, the bigger interface below is the canvas where you design the report and code. The smaller one and see the same thing, but this TV out there is going to be 8 points. It's going to give you a data in a precise and concise way. That's what I went. That's what I went. That's the picture you are looking at. That condensens your information in a smaller way. Then finally, the mobile. Okay, you can publish your information on mobile. Okay, good. So Power BI is a collection of software service, apps, and connections that work together to turn your unrelated source of data. Okay, you bring data that are not related together and you create a meaning of it. So that's what the data you want to install and the tools you want to come and meet. Okay, any question for me? Power BI is a collection of software service. I'm talking about Power BI as an application now. Okay, and connectors that work together to turn your unrelated sources of data into coherent, visual, immersive, and interactive insights. Okay. I've not had, okay, Larry, I've not heard you talking today now. Lovett has talked. What of Sarah Men and okay, Wayne has also spoken. Okay. But I don't think Larry answered a question for me. Larry, are you there?
I've answered questions. I got it wrong.
Okay. Okay. Don't worry. We can take later. So I want everybody to be participant. That's what I'm looking at. Good. Whether your data is a simple Microsoft Excel workbook or a collection of cloud-based, on-premise, hybrid, data warehouse, Power BI lets you easily connect to your data source, visualize or discover which is important, and share that with anyone or everyone you want. So your Power BI either be as a desktop, you have software as a service, you have the one in your mobile. These are the three flavors that come up on your. These are the things that come up in your analysis. So how you use Power BI might depends on your role in a project or a team and other people in other roles. No, that's the way that this thing is interchangeably. Let's move on. Good. So when you want to use your Power BI, the way you see your screen is to demonstrate this, then this. Okay, these are the reports. These are the raw information put to me, and this one connected, and I see that's the target. What you are seeing in the middle here is the target endpoint or whatever we are doing to present from your computer at home. You present to, from your desktop computer. You design your report in the interface. That's why you see it with a symbol of a monitor. Then lower to it here, you have maybe a spreadsheet that keeps breakdown of what you just done and the mobile on top. That is how those are the tools you use to gather your data. Any question? So your Power BI is in three flavors. You have the desktop, you have the Power BI service, and you have your mobile. Those are the three things that lead to rejection. Good. Oh, sorry, I'm too rushed. Okay. So building blocks of your Power BI. What makes your Power BI? You have this. There's a chart. We've seen a chart before that I was explaining the point here. It's still saying the same thing, that they represent a different kind of things. So everything you do in Microsoft Power BI, sorry. Wow. So now that we've introduced the basis of Microsoft Power BI, let's jump into some hands-on experience and guided and taught the activities and analyze that we learn with Power BI. Generally follow a common flow. The common flow of activity looks like bring data into Power BI desktop, create a report, okay, and publish to the Power BI service, where you can create new visualization. That is all your Power BI is asking for, okay? View and interact with share dashboards and reports in Power BI. All those things, what we have, will handle it, okay? And the three flavor of your Power BI is the desktop, is the one that is missed, and the one that is not going to, is the mobile one, is your directors and executives that use them, not you or any of your younger staff. Good. Any question?
Yes. I also wanted to ask, This Power BI, is it like an enterprise version, or is there any free version for us to use to practice? Or must we get the enterprise
There's a free version. There's a free version. Don't be scared.
Oh, okay.
There's a free version. Okay.
Okay.
And when you are commercializing your data, Oracle has a way of identifying that, and they will simply lock it for you. Simple.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. So we've spoken about the building blocks. Okay. Good. So that's we've seen the building blocks before. Okay. So look at what you have on your screen. I have all the pictures, pictorial features that you want to show. Everything you do in Microsoft Power BI can be broken down into a few basic building blocks. After you understand these building blocks, you can expand on each of them and begin creating elaborate and complex reports. Okay? Let's explore the basic building blocks, discuss some simple things that can be built with them, and then get a glimpse into how complex things can also be. Okay? That is that. Okay, that's the theory behind this what you're having on your screen, and the tools that you are looking to. We are looking at visualization tools, sometimes also referred to as visual. Okay, it is a visual representation of data like a chart, a color code map, or other interesting things you can create to represent your data visually. Okay, you can create them to represent your data. Power BI has all sorts of visualization type, and more are coming all the time. Okay, they have varieties. That's what you call by visualization. Okay, so you also have a data set. All the data you clean and brought, because all those data that you clean is part of the information that you are presenting to the outward. And finally, you are presenting a report. In your report, you have your general Power BI, you have a big dashboard, you have your visualization and code. Those are the things that these diagrams are getting from us. Okay? Good. Time is fast spent, so I want to finish this one. So building blocks. So good. Good. So now, can you see on the left-hand side, what do you observe?
It's like the data is not very well structured.
No, there's nothing wrong with the data.
Okay. It's just the data, different. Okay. Just data. It's not yet it's not been turned into a report. It's just the raw data.
It's like a raw data.
Yes.
Imagine you have a million rows and half a million for this setup. You know, imagine you have a million records. Imagine this data is very big and huge, and you can see up to 500 records. You know, you get out of it. You get bored.
Yes.
Okay? So, but when you are looking at the second diagram on the right, what can you see?
It's like a visual representation of the data.
A visual representation of the data. That's the job. That's what you, that's your role. That's what you want to come and learn here. You transform your data, and you keep the other things there. Good. Let's move on. Good. So this is your Power BI. If you want to move around it, you can look at the various charts, and look at the charts they are giving. All this depends on who is collecting the information. What does he want to use it for? Okay, good. Any question for me? The common flow of work in Microsoft Power BI is to create a report in Power BI desktop. That's the first step. Okay? Publish it to the Power BI service, and then share it with others. Okay? So that they can view it in service or a mobile app. But because some people begin the Power BI service, let's get an overview of that first and learn about an easy and popular way to quickly create visuals in Power BI. So it's telling us that some people are working on it and they get results. So, good. But all we are saying is all your data analytics dovetail to what you have on the screen. Let's move on because of time. Good. So the next thing is we want to review the portion that we just ran up now. What are the building blocks of Power BI? Who understood that? What are the building blocks? Can anybody tell me? What are the building blocks? Okay, let me scroll back so that you can see.
Collection of softwares, services, and apps.
Are you sure? Huh? Building blocks. Is the visual now? The visual. That's the building blocks. Hey. All these things you see here, they are the visual. Okay? Let me quickly round up, then I will launch Power BI for you to see the screen. So those are your building blocks. Visualization, that's the visual, data set, reports, dashboard, and tiles. So these are the things you show for them. Okay? So what is the common flow of activities in Power BI? Common flow of activity in Power BI. What is it?
You launch your Power BI desktop, create your reports, then you create a visualization of it, and then publish it in the service.
Okay, let me see what our coordinator will show us to do. Check it.
Oh, okay.
Bring data to Power BI desktop, create a report, share it to Power BI service, view and interact with reports and dashboards. That's what is expected, or that's all the activity that happens on Power BI.
Hola.
A collection of ready-made visuals pre-arranged in dashboard and reports is called what? It's called an app. That was what Lovett described a while ago. Lovett, are you not the one that described that?
No, I think it was Ijoma.
No.
Okay. Okay. Good. So in this module, we'll cover data analysis and how to get started with Power BI. I think I have 1 or 2 theory to do, then another one will be theory. So this is what we have to give in this module of getting started with Power BI. Any question for me? Do we understand all my explanation? Is there anything you want me to recap? Hello?
We are here.
Okay.
We
So
are
in absentia of nothing, let me quickly show us yes. Why are you covering this thing? I'm coming. No.
Hola.
I'm coming.
Hola.
Okay. Hola. End the slideshow.
Hola.
Good. Give me a few seconds. I want to start Power BI. The last thing I will show you before going tonight. So when you install your Power BI, this is the way it's going to load. Taking a little while to load because I have data already on it. So this is your Power BI. Good. So this is the screen of your Power BI. Okay. Looks like your Excel, correct? Hello, class. Are we together?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
So this is the interface of your Power BI. So you have your menu bar on top. You have your menu bar like the one you have in your Word, in your PowerPoint, in Office 365, the same way. Then the ribbon bar. The ribbon bar is context sensitive. Is the content of each of the menu that will determine what you have on your browse bar. This. For example, if you click on insert, everything here will be different, right? If you click on modeling, everything here will change. If you click on view, you see that every menu has its own Power BI underneath, or has its own tools, that is the ribbon tools under them, correct? So on the left-hand side of the bar, you have, forget about the last item here, is because I've run some things on it. The most 3 important thing that you see in your own later is report view, table view, and model view. Okay? Now, the whole of this white area bigger is called canvas. That is where you design your charts. Okay? And finally, you come to on the right-hand side. This on your right-hand side is made up of, look at your data here. Okay? Then you have visualization, and below visualization, there are two items. You have build visual. So this one is the one, build. So this is telling you about the general to format, that one, and it's going to go a longer way in learning. Good. Then after that, you still have your filters, and the filter can be, you want to internally analyze the data you have in your Power BI. Okay, that's it. Good. Let's move on.
Oh, we are finishing.
Yes, it's just the screen. Then finally, you have your task bar. Look at where you have your page 1. The sheet is like that of Excel. You can add more sheets to it. Look at it. If you click on this plus, you can add more, as many sheets, and you think you can. And each of the pages carry different information. As time goes on, the explanation will be better. So that is the whole of the interface of your Power BI. Any question? Is there anything that is strange here?
When we download the Power BI,
come again.
When we've downloaded the application, how do we log in? Do we use the login we're using for Azure?
Yes, you can use the one for Azure. It's going to log in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So once again, let me recap. I've attached all this into your Telegram, and I've demonstrated how you are going to run it, and it's going to work, right? So now, I don't know if it's convenient for you or everybody, if you can have 2-hour section outside. Your class is Tuesdays 9 to 11. We can't do any installation within the class. It has to be after the class. So who is